Hello, it's Phillip Taylor from Richmond Green Chambers speaking, and I'm looking this morning at a book from Sweeton Maxwell, the Thomson Reuters organisation, and it's in the Common Law Library series. It's this book here, Bowstead and Reynolds on Agency, now in the 19th edition. You can see at the side it's a relatively slim book actually for this series. It's just under 800 pages long, very much in tune with what we expect under the new authorship of Peter Watts. You've got the standard introduction there, cases. Then what you do have, of course, are the very useful paragraph numbers at the sides, and then at the back a very useful index. There is a Flickr review which I've written with my wife Elizabeth, and we've given it the title Explaining the Law of Agency, a classic and definitive work now completely up to date. And it follows very much on what we had written with the previous edition, and really we've followed on from there. And this is what we've said. This is a practitioner's book, the main objective of which is to state and explain the law of agency rather than to reshape it. From the date of its first publication in 1896, that's edited from that date until 1932 by William Bowstead, this formidable and scholarly volume has carried the weight of unassailable authority and has acquired a towering reputation in our view as the definitive work of reference within this area of law, i.e. the law of agency. In case you need reminding, agency is as much a concept as a word. State agents, advertising agents, and so forth. And therein lies the complexity of it all. Agency in a strict legal context is described under the chapter heading Nature of the Subject as, quote, the fiduciary relationship between two persons, the agent and the principal, the basic stuff that we all know. We're simplifying obviously here as well. One of whom agrees to act on the other's behalf, that's the principal. The person who thus acts is the agent, the other on whose behalf he acts is the principal. Anyone other than the agent or principal may be referred to as the third party. Significantly, in this edition, the 19th, it's noteworthy for being the first edition since the 13th to be edited with a new author, Peter Watts, who, on the recommendation of Professor Reynolds, has assumed principal responsibility for the preparation of this edition, in which Reynolds has nevertheless maintained a continuing and significant role. This edition contains a myriad of minor updating changes and quite a number of significant ones, says Watts, even though much effort has been made to retain the existing text. So it follows through very much the Common Law series tradition. Much new material has been added to the book since the previous edition in 2006, including about 150 new English law cases, with every chapter being affected. Without going into detail here, the most significant changes have taken place in three main areas. One concerns the duties an agent owes his principal. The second is the increased reference to the application of agency law in the operation of companies, many of which of course have to operate through agents, hence the prominence of agency law in company law and corporate governance generally. And third, there's a new chapter by Reynolds on the conflict of laws and agency law, which is a difficult area as the authors point out. For these and almost innumerable other reasons, you'll need this book in our view in its latest edition in order to provide your clients with the most up-to-date advice on agency. Very few parts of the book have failed to acquire new case law, warns the author, but there again that's the same with many areas of substantive law today. So this is indeed a formidable and careful work of reference. The table of cases section covers about 130 pages right at the front, and obviously covers a variety of jurisdictions. The tables of statutes and statutory instruments are also included, and there's a detailed index which I indicated earlier at the back. The law is addressed as at the 31st of March 2010, and as I say, Bowstead and Reynolds remains the classic and definitive work on agency law. Thank you to all concerned. Bye-bye.